Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I did a live earlier today, people, because I wanted to just make it really clear that though I was fretting over seemingly having to rearrange my calories, I have no intention of giving up sprouts. I have no intention of getting off a plant-based raw vegan diet. It is by far the best thing I've done for myself. So I was just sharing my process, right? Which I will do on this channel. That's why I have it, to just kind of work my way through and be able to share with you, because you're a blessing to me. You're my accountability partners, and I just appreciate you coming to Jules Blessed Vegan and checking in with me so that I can just share, my journey. And that was the whole purpose of this channel. So no, I don't plan on stopping this way of life. I don't plan on stopping to eat my sprouts and my microgreens. As I suggested in yesterday's video, if I just decided to eat one less banana, which averages about 100 calories, right there could justify 4 cups of microgreens, right? So it wasn't like a big deal. I was just sharing my frustration with realizing that I hadn't lost weight. One thing that my little sister pointed out, which I appreciate so much, is she's like, Juliana, not long ago, you were eating 10,000 calories. You were eating 6,500 calories. There's a chance that your body thinks you're fasting, even though you are eating a very reasonable 1,400 to 1,600 calories. So it may be waiting to see what the next step is. No doubt. That was so reasonable. She's in health. She always tells me straight up, no doubt. And I really, really appreciate that, because that's a great way to look at it, I need to stay the course. 30 days, yay me, but we're on day 1. I'm on day 1 for February. I started a day early to kind of balance out those 30 days at a time. I'm happy to do it, and I look forward to staying well this month as well. One thing that I was reflecting on, which is the icon that shows that little, no symbol over fast food, is really the insanity of commercialism today regarding junk food and fast food and toxic food and packaged food. And what's amazing to me is, in a way, they're more honest than ever. Before they used to hide it, right? Yeah, it would still totally be processed food, but let me back up a second. One time, I asked all of my students to bring a fruit or a vegetable to share, okay? And one of my students showed up with apple flavored, don't tell me, oh my gosh, what are those called? Jolly Ranchers, those little candies, and they had apple flavored. And I was like, okay, so you brought candy? And he's like, no, they're apple. They say sour apple. It's like Granny Smith. Oh my gosh. Okay, I understand there are food deserts in our country where people literally cannot get healthy or fresh food. It's not offered in their neighborhood, and many don't have cars. And so sadly, every single thing they get is fried, deep fried, right? At the few fast food corners or the tiny little fast food places at their gas stations, or packaged straight up. I get that. And for this little kid, it did say sour apple, to be fair. Wow. So what they used to do is they'd have totally processed everything, but they would say fruit flavored, to make people go, oh, okay, cool. Or they would definitely say enriched with vitamin A and vitamin C and vitamin D. And those things that really started back in my mind with Kellogg's cereal, back in the 1950s, or maybe even before that. Where they started fortifying the cereals to get people to get their vitamins in. Okay, so it's been going on for a long time, but now, again, coming from a professional, card-carrying compulsive overeating member, okay, with years and years of experience, and understanding the intensity of the toxicity in our designer food that is literally designed to keep us addicted, using MRI machines to monitor children's brains so that they can decide whether or not they're going to, so using the MRI machines to see where their brains light up, only to light them up more. I mean, in essence, that dopamine effect. Horrific and should be terrifically illegal, as for the first time in ever, our children aren't expected to outlive their parents, right? Because of the obesity, because of the disease. That children actually have fatty liver syndrome, which used to only be for alcoholics at 9 and 10 years old. That I have little kids, and I taught 3rd grade a couple of years ago, now I'm in 6th, coming to me and literally saying, I have high cholesterol, the doctors have me on medication. Like, this is not a consideration. You know, am I really supposed to worry about the asthma, which is outrageous in our children right now? And now I understand why, because I also toxified my body to the point of having to use my emergency inhaler 4 to 6 times a day. So I totally get that one. But when we go on field trips and stuff, pre and post COVID, we often need to bring their EpiPen. You know, if they're allergic, we have to bring their inhalers. Am I also going to bring their heart medication? Not kidding, not kidding. So while I'm sitting there watching television, and I literally just saw an article that says we are subjected to 6,000 to 10,000 advertisements per day. I know that seems insane to you. And I know there's just not really a conscious awareness of that, because you're like, well, I didn't even leave my house, so I'm okay. Might you take a moment to actually zoom in and see the products in your cupboards, see the products in your refrigerator, see the products in your medicine cabinet, the products in your junk drawer, the products in your garage, the products in your fridge. I mean, just because you didn't buy them today doesn't mean you're not subjected to ads, let alone if you dare to turn on social media. And I remember a couple of years ago, it was such a really distressing that people who pay for a full-blown, 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever show now has the ticker tape along the bottom, or has the insert of an ad for what's coming up next, or what's in a week from now, or whatever. Like, they have double ads on top of ads, which I would be very angry about if I had paid for whatever I was producing. So it's unbelievable. Well, anyway, I was sitting there and a couple of ads came on, and I thought, wow, they're not even hiding it anymore. Okay, they're not hiding it with vitamins. They're not hiding it with this as 10% real fruit juice, and it is literally more like 3% most of the time. They're not hiding it anymore. And some of those examples that come to mind, one of them is Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its, they might be crackers or chips, I don't know. But the girl is literally inside the glass in a test window, almost like a flippin' mouse, right? Inside the test window, there's a bunch of other people. She's taking a bite of it, and she's, oh my gosh, it's so good, I can't stop. And she's freaking out over the taste of a Cheez-It cracker or chip or whatever. And then the chemist says, good, we got it. Like, we hit that part of the brain that made her not be able to stop. This is an adult, okay? And maybe this is because they can't do children, I don't know, but and I would say that woman is in her probably at least her mid-30s, I would say. Okay, so then back up a minute to some kids who are more like late teens to early 20s, I'm not sure which one, that are doing a Taco Bell commercial. And the Taco Bell, it's so fair that they do this. It almost has a horror film effect to it of cravings haunting and chasing after this person. And it's for like their nacho fries and how their nacho fries are back. But it's almost a terror scene of the cravings coming after this person. Wow. And people are wondering why they can't stop eating. And I hear it all day long. People say all day long. And I know it's not lovely to use the phrase, I can't. But I understand why they feel that they can't. I honestly understand that. I'm trying to think. There was another one. Yeah, the Taco Bell, the Cheez-Its. I just saw another one. There's a gazillion. Watch TV for 20 minutes if you dare at the dinner hour in the morning. My gosh. and just see these things coming at you, and that was a neat thing too. And I'm being facetious when I say neat, a neat trick when they went from the 1 minute commercial, which was, long for sure, but far less commercials, to suddenly selling 45-second slots, which was like, wow, that was much shorter. Yes, getting ready to double up to 30-second slots, which means they get subjected to you more than once, to 15-second slots, getting to 4 ads in a minute. 4 ads in a minute with an average break of 1 to 3 minutes. So anywhere from 8 to 12 ads just coming at us every flippin' second. And I've mentioned before that if I go to the store, there's anywhere from 60, depending on the size of the store, to 80 to 100,000 products. And in the superstore, easily 120,000 products. And if you're wondering, like, well, yeah, but I don't really look at them, I'm just there to get what I need and to leave. Think about this. When you accidentally splash something, and before you even realize that you've done it, your eye has closed to avoid that splash. And you're like, oh my gosh, thank God my eye closed. I almost blinked. Yeah, that's how quickly your eye is taking in all of that information coming at you every single second, where they said 6,000 to 10,000 ads coming at you per day, let alone products, intentional or not. So I just wanted to say that, it's just like, peace be with you is what I'm thinking. Peace be with you, because I was caught up in all of it when they only had 3 television stations on regular TV networks and nothing else. Okay. I actually was seriously addicted to food since I first tasted food. I don't know, but certainly by 2 and 3 years old that I have conscious memories of. But for today, I know how much harder it is. I see what my students are eating. I see what my students have. And, they did a study in the UK, so in England, where, and I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure it's worse in America. It seems like everything's worse in America right now. Where they were saying that the obesity rate of children is just astronomical, and that all they were asking was that children be subjected to 1.5, just 1.5 less ads during prime time, meaning before 9 o'clock at night. And everybody was like, 1.5 ads, come on, what difference will that make? And they said, well, the difference is that 1.5 ads less before 9 o'clock between kindergarten and age 17 is 40,000 less exposures, 40,000 less exposures. And that it would cut the obesity by at least 1/3 for those leaving high school. I take 10 less children obese. It is so uncomfortable. Here I know, after being over 300 pounds, that I don't trust my body. I'm below 200 pounds. Praise God. I am one of the strongest people I know. My husband can't believe how easily I lift a 50-pound bag of this or that. People can't believe that I easily rebound for 20 or 30 minutes and I'm barely out of breath. Like, I'm a really strong person, but I still doubt my ability. And here we have these children in elementary school doubting whether or not they should try for it because they're already so uncomfortable and obese in their body. Prayers all around, my friends. I just wanted to talk about that because it is so real, and because I was so inundated just now trying to sit with my husband he's been struggling. He was really sick for a while there, and the antibiotics started to help, and now he's still having problems. I don't know if it was COVID, but he's having dizziness and continued problems. So sometimes I was just sitting with him because he's trying to take it a little easier before he works again tomorrow. And that TV was on. And luckily, I'm well enough that I came from a perception of, are you kidding me right now? How honestly ill is this? All right, like if you like, join us if you haven't subscribed. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. Food, prayer, research, whatever it is. I'd love to do that. And until we talk again, make best choices know that it is not all your fault, but it's still your responsibility to choose to get well. And best of all, know that you're blessed.